One of the biggest privileges of growing up in Chicago is that there's organizing all around us. There's been a long lineage of great organizers across many different issues, especially around safety and policing.
When I announced my candidacy, I was working at the time at the Illinois Attorney General's office. Our office had sued the city of Chicago and the police department to bring about systemic changes. I became intimately familiar, not just with the need of police accountability and really reimagining public safety across the city, but specifically the very fraught history of attempts to do just that over the last several decades.
Chicago has a long history of police brutality, police violence. The release of the Laquan McDonald video really accelerated the sense of urgency amongst a lot of folks, to the extent that community groups got together to form this Grassroots Alliance for Police Accountability Coalition.
GAPA is really all about creating this civilian oversight body for the police. When I think about my personal stake in police accountability, one of the things I think about is this idea of B'Tselem Elohim and all of us being created in God's image. And when you take that idea really seriously, we really have an imperative to create a Chicago where we can all thrive, we can all feel safe.
There's police violence against people of all races, and particularly people who have mental health issues, and there are Jews of color. So this is an issue that affects the Jewish community directly, and it impacts people we care about.
Those most directly impacted were very much at the heart of the work developing the ordinance. Democracy is woven through everything about the work. What was created out of that process was an oversight board and a set of institutions that will be the most democratic police oversight anywhere in the country.
You obviously start with a core group of individuals within and outside who are on the same page, broadly speaking, about where we need to go. And so working with other elected officials, but more importantly, folks outside of government, activists, movement organizers, to apply pressure in thoughtful and strategic ways.
In fall of 2018, we did an action outside of Alderman Michelle Smith's office. She hadn't yet fully publicly committed to supporting the GAPA ordinance.
We decided to do an action at her office, and it was right around the high holidays. So we thought we can draw on the themes of the high holidays to really call her to action. And the next day, she gave us a call and she ended up signing on to GAPA. So it was this really amazing moment of, man, we put all this effort into organizing this action, and then something really tangible came from it.
ECPS! When do we want it? Now!
There were a lot of moments where we were like, oh, we're so close, we're so close. I would tell all the people in different partnering organizations, this is the month, and then it wouldn't be the month. February of 2021, it seemed that both the GAPA and CPAC ordinance were going to be permanently stalled. We took a lot of time to figure out what the people of Chicago really needed, and we merged together these really powerful pieces of legislation that were GAPA and that were CPAC, and we created the Empowering Communities for Public Safety Ordinance, ECPS. At the same time, we also created a coalition around it. And that was really powerful because all of a sudden, we had a motor to drive us to organize in a place that was both powerful in the streets, but also powerful in front of the people that were making decisions. We had the movement and we had the people.
That day in July 2021, when the ordinance finally passed, was joyful. It was the culmination of more than 6 years of work by thousands of people. I remember being in a room in City Hall with a bunch of people who'd been deeply engaged in the struggle, and there was just jubilation.
Until it happened, I could not believe it. I remember just having the sign that said, pass the People's Ordinance, right next to my roll call. And when it happened, I was like, I can say we passed the People's Ordinance.
When it passed, it was the strongest version of civilian oversight in the entire country. And so it's so important not just that we passed it, but that we implement it in the right ways. At the end of the day, to have folks who are focusing very deeply on the systemic changes, but also the sort of organizing that sustains the push for those changes, it's going to be really exciting.
Woven throughout the ordinance are tons of opportunities for more organizing. There are real opportunities going forward to reimagine the role of the police department, to think in bold new ways about resources we should be bringing to make all our communities safer.
This is just a baby step in a long list of things that we want to create. At the same time, while we try to implement it, we have to start thinking about, well, what comes next? Who do we need to partner with next? How can we grow this? Having community groups like this one be involved in the decision making of our city is what makes our city a beautiful, safe, and great city to be in.